All right, so we're just going to jump into this. I'm going to give a mega download and an update on what is going on and try to make this situation clear for everybody. So the state police, Homeland Security, and Manchester PD surrounded my old apartment and came looking for me, basically raided the place. They didn't bust down any doors or anything, but they talked to the people there, asking questions where I was, etc. And the guy downstairs ends up telling me, oh, there was a FedEx package open in the lawn, and I read the stuff, and I ended up putting it through the paper shredder. And I told him he needs to contact Homeland Security and all these people to let them know that what he did with these packages. And I don't know why they're sending legal stuff through FedEx. It doesn't make any sense. They need to use U.S. Postal Service, because leaving something on my front steps is not serving me, and that's not proof that I received it. You got to use Postal Service, return receipt requests requested, or even maybe with the FedEx if you make somebody sign for it, and it has to be me signing for it with an identification. So I don't know what court dates I possibly missed, is what somebody said that they were saying while they were there, that I missed a court date. It would be for them trying to get in my phone. So ultimately, that's what's going on, is they got a warrant to get into my phone, because the prosecutor had already mentioned that in a previous filing, that they shopped around for a different judge and they got a warrant to get in my phone. They are planning to hold me in custody until I open the phone, which means I'll be filing a petition for writ of habeas corpus and fighting it from the inside. Another surprise that I have for everybody is that yesterday morning I went and I filed for governor. So I will be running for governor of New Hampshire from custody in this case. And I'm going to need a lot of help. And we need people that don't vote to actually come out and vote. And so I don't care about this tiny little percentage that does come out and do this. It's time that people step up, and you know that I'm going to be like the dude that everybody wanted or thought Trump is or should be or was going to be when he went into the presidency, because he never followed through. He didn't do anything. I won't get into my whole campaign thing and all this stuff. The points of my campaign and what I'm going to do, I'll do that later. I'm going to jump right into calling the chief of police, Manchester PD, in order to find out what's going on with this raid and the warrant. And ultimately, I'm going to try to set up a peaceful surrender through Al Aldenberg, the chief of police, and possibly the county sheriff as well. All right, so bear with me here while we call.
Hello, you have reached the Manchester Police Department. For dispatch, press 1. For domestic violence, press 2. For the chief's office, press 3.
Transferring to.
Diane Kingsbury.
One moment, please.
Be back in just a moment.
You have reached the administrative offices at the Manchester, New Hampshire Police Department and the desk of Diane Kingsbury. Office hours are Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., excluding holidays. You are welcome to leave your name, phone number, and a brief message, and I will return your call as soon as possible. If your call is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. Thank you.
Recording.
Hi, Diane. My name is Frank Negus Staples. I'm calling to find out. I would really like to talk to Chief Aldenberg because Manchester Police helped Department of Homeland Security raid my former residence, and they're trying to arrest me for filming in court. Apparently that's a crime, and they stole my phone. It's a fairly complex situation, but you guys are obviously aware of it. And ultimately, my goal here is to, negotiate a surrender where I can meet. And, I'm not going to, I don't trust Homeland Security. Okay. So I do trust the chief. And if you could call me back, that would be phenomenal. 603-722-5408. Thank you so much. All right. So I'm going to call Hillsborough County Sheriff. Find it. Stop for a second. All right.
Welcome to the office of the Hillsborough County Sheriff. If you have an emergency, hang up and dial 911. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time. For a dial by name directory, press 9. For dispatch, press 2. For prisoner transport, press 3. For criminal warrants, press 4. For civil process, press 5. For administration, press 6. For bench warrants, press 7. For accounting, press 8. And to repeat this menu, press star. If you need further assistance, you may press 0 or stay on the line.
Wait while I transfer your call. Sheriff's Office.
Hi, how you doing? So I'm not sure what button to press there on the selection. I am trying to find out, I'm really trying to talk to the sheriff, Connolly, if possible. And
Okay.
this is about a raid that was effectuated on my former house here in Manchester, where apartment, whatever, wherever I was living. And it was done with state police, Manchester PD, and Homeland Security. And they came there to arrest me. I'm not sure if the sheriff's office was involved, but I would like to find out. And the reason why I want to talk to the sheriff is because there is a question about jurisdiction, federal jurisdiction here in the state of New Hampshire. And I know that the sheriff's duties is to enforce the laws in the Constitution of New Hampshire. And so there is an RSA 123.1, which is how the federal government acquires property from the state of New Hampshire. This law has been on the books since 1883, and I have a document from the Secretary of State that's sealed. It's from about a month ago, and the federal government has never complied with our offer of cession under 123.1. And long story short, I was found guilty for recording in the lobby of the federal courthouse. I'm not sure if you're aware of this situation, but during my trial, I may or may not have started recording during the trial. And a witness in the case, a Homeland Security officer who had just finished testifying, came over and ripped the phone out of my hand. They kicked me out of the courtroom. I was kicked out of the courtroom before the case ended. This is just a petty offense, mind you. It's a $100 fine. And so they kicked me out of the courtroom, and I said, I want my phone. And they said, we'll give it to you outside. I got outside, and the Homeland Security guy, I ran to my car, I got a recording device, and I came back. He comes outside, he says, we're confiscating your phone, we're keeping your phone. This other DHS guy, I said, I want some sort of receipt or documents or something. They said, you can get it from the clerk. The judge confiscated your phone. Well, I've talked to the clerk multiple times, and there was no confiscation of my phone. In another court filing,
Where's that?
this is the federal court in Concord.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and so I talked to the clerk multiple times, all of them basically, and I also have all these calls recorded on video, and they told me they don't have anything to do with it. There's no filing or anything about a contempt charge or the judge confiscating my phone. And then I did go to the Norris Cotton building in Manchester, which is where these Homeland Security guys were stationed out of. And I talked to the supervisor and the guy who took my phone, Michael Plant, and I have this on video. And Plant then said, "No, I took your phone." And I said, "Okay, I want some sort of documentation or proof." And they said, "Well, there's a crime. There was a crime that was committed." I said, "What crime?" "We think there was there's evidence of a crime on there." And so they're trying to say that there's me possibly recording for maybe, a few seconds in a courtroom, which is a public hearing, and we have a right to record here in New Hampshire. And if they even have jurisdiction, the feds in New Hampshire, RSA 123 says they do not get exclusive jurisdiction. They get concurrent jurisdiction. But as far as I'm concerned, seeing as they've never complied with RSA 123.1, they don't have any jurisdiction at all. And they don't have any state property. They don't own any property or control any property here in New Hampshire. There's only two ways to acquire property by the federal government: purchase and cession. And they have never complied with our offer of cession. There's only one New Hampshire Supreme Court case on this issue, and they said that the government has never accepted our offer, and they've never gotten exclusive jurisdiction ever. So that's what is it? Newington versus Campanella. I can send you guys this. But I'm concerned. My biggest concern is that these Homeland Security guys are running around trying to put me, their plan is to hold me in jail until I unlock my phone. And I'm not obligated to produce anything. It's not like I committed murder and there's evidence of me, doing something with some other actual crime. This is me exercising my First Amendment rights and my rights to hold the government accountable under Article 8 of the New Hampshire Constitution, which supersedes any federal stuff. So I'm wondering, if I can.
Right now?
They have my old phone. Yes, I have a new phone. So this is the thing. This raid was, I just found out about it 2 days ago, but it happened 60 days ago.
Yeah.
It happened
Do you know the address?
332 Merrimack Street.
Okay.
In Manchester. And
was
so
there any apartment number?
I don't know what they had I wasn't there, and I don't know. They didn't leave any paperwork or anything. I know that they were there on the whole property looking for me. And that is my mailing address. That's my legal mailing address. I have permission to use that as a mailing address, and I just don't live there.
Okay. What was your name?
My name is Frank Negus, N as in Nancy, Egus.
Yep.
Staples, last name Staples.
Okay. And what is a good phone number that someone could give you a call back at?
603-722-5408.
Okay.
And so ultimately, I know Al Aldenberg, the chief of Manchester. I worked with him on mobile crisis response team. I've already called. I left a message. There was nobody, I left a message with Diane Kingsbury.
Okay.
And my ultimate goal is I need to clear this up, and I'm going to turn myself in peacefully. I trust Al Aldenberg, and I would like to do it through him and the sheriff's office if possible. I'm not going to turn myself in to Homeland Security directly because I don't trust them at all. And I will have a whole bunch of people with me recording this process. So another thing you should know is that I am running for governor for whatever that's worth.
Okay. All right. I will type this up and I'll give it to the sheriff's secretary, which she will give to him. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Frank.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, so the next call is to the U.S. Attorney.
You have reached the United States Attorney's Office for the District of New Hampshire. The U.S. Attorney's Office is staffed by lawyers who represent the United States government and various federal agencies. This office does not provide legal advice to the public. While we prosecute violations of federal criminal law, this office does not conduct investigations independently of law enforcement agencies. If you want to report a crime, please contact your local police department. If you believe you are in immediate danger, please call 911. You can complete a public complaint form on our website, which we will forward to the appropriate investigative agency on your behalf. You can find this form at www.justice.gov/USAO-NH/contact. Members of the public can obtain case-related information from the United States District Court Clerk's Office by calling 603-225-1423. Thank you.
That's it. So, this is Frank Staples, and I'm calling about a raid that happened at my former residence because of this recording in court situation. So, number one, I'm going to tell you, I think it's a little excessive. And I need somebody to call me back to talk about this situation. My name is Frank Staples, 603-722-5408.
Thank you. To send your message, press 3 or hang up. To delete your...
All right, last but not least, the clerk of courts.
This is the United States District Court for the District of New Hampshire.
Wait while I transfer your call.
Good afternoon, Federal Court.
Hi, how's it going? This is Frank Staples, and I'm calling. I called maybe a couple days ago and checked on a case number to see if I missed a court date, because I was told I missed a court date, but it's not going to be on that case number. I don't know what the case number is. The Homeland Security raided my former apartment, and I don't live there anymore. And the guy downstairs told me, this was like 2 months ago that they did this, and they went looking to arrest me for allegedly recording in the courtroom. And so they told me that the downstairs guy said, you got some packages from FedEx. I found one on the front steps and one in the lawn, open, wet in the lawn. And I said, what'd you do with them? He said, I put them through the paper shredder. And I was like, well, you need to, so I need to know who he needs to let know about this. I did call and leave a message at U.S. Attorney's Office as well, but I don't know if you can just like check my name and see if there's anything in the system as far as missing a court date or anything like that.
So I have one case number under your name, 24PO23.
Yeah, that's the one that I have on appeal.
And so you think you missed a date in that case?
Well, so what happened was at that trial, I had my phone and I was leaving. The trial was still ongoing, and the witness was Homeland Security Officer Michael Plant. he came over and ripped the phone out of my hand, and they said, get out of the building. I said, I want my phone back. They said, we'll give it to you outside.
So do you think you have another case here?
They just, I would assume, where else would the case be out of? It has to.
I don't show any other case here with you.
So they have a warrant. They have a warrant. They got a warrant from, I don't know, some judge. I haven't seen any documentation. I've gone down to Norris Cotton Building multiple times and tried to get some sort of paperwork, and I haven't gotten any. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But I do know that they got a warrant to arrest me and force me to open the phone. So
we don't have anything showing that.
You don't have anything showing that? And it would, if there was something like that, it would be there? You're telling me?
If you had if they had filed a new case against you, we would have that.
But if it was just a warrant that they got and there's no real case, there's no case number.
Then we know when cases are filed.
You know just when cases are filed. All right, I'm just trying to figure this situation out because they don't, coordinate with Manchester PD and the state police and surround a property and go and harass all the tenants for no reason and tell them that they're looking for me and that I missed a court date.
I can't speak to what law enforcement does. I just know if there's a case filed in our court, we would have it.
I can speak to what they do, and they go and they shoot people. And this is all over me, exercising my right?
So do you have a question about any case that's been filed that I can help with?
Well, I have been trying to find out if there's a deadline, and if you could see if there's been any movement. I filed some motions in that case, that one case there, and I haven't heard anything yet either. I haven't got anything in the mail.
So I can't advise you to deadlines. That's something you would have to do for yourself.
Well, I know, and I tried.
The last thing filed has been a motion for permission filed on 5/13/24.
And there's nothing on that yet?
No, sir.
Okay, and so I'm not sure, she was like the deputy clerk or something. She called me back and she said, I have advice for you, because it's not legal advice to tell me what a normal deadline in a case would be. Like, that should be...
So would you like to speak to the case manager?
That would be phenomenal.
Great, I'll transfer you to her right now.
So I keep getting her voicemail. That's the problem. She's not calling me back.
You have reached Leanna Wagner, Case Manager for Judge Stephen McCall. I am unavailable to take your call at the moment. Please leave your name, telephone number, and a brief message, and I will return your call as soon as I am available. If you need immediate assistance, press 0 for another deputy. Thank you.
Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hi, how you doing? This is Frank Staples. I've called a number of times and nobody's called me back. I'm just simply trying to find out what the deadlines in my case are, and they're trying to, the clerks think that's giving me legal information. This is very, very strange. I don't know why I can't find out what my deadlines are for this appeal in my case. If you can call me back, 603-722-5408, that would be phenomenal. Again, my name is Frank Staples. It's 603-722-5408. Thank you so much. Huh. That was interesting. All right, we are going to call the state police because they were there, so they might know something.
Calling the New Hampshire Department of Safety. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. For our address and lobby hours, press 1. For criminal history records and background checks, fingerprinting, as well as permits and licensing unit, press 2. For driver licensing, registration, and titles, press 3. For the Bureau of Hearings, press 4. For Human Resources, Purchasing, and the Road Toll Bureau, press 5. To be connected to any of our other divisions, press 6. And for the Office of the Commissioner, including the Legal Unit and Media Relations Office, press 7.
Wait while I transfer your call.
Department of Safety Commissioner's office.
Hi, how's it going? I have a bit of a situation I'm hoping you can help me out with.
Okay.
So, 2 days ago, I was picking up my mail. My mailing address is here in Manchester, 332 Merrimack Street. It's not a secret. And the neighbors, the people who live there, told me that the Homeland Security, State Police, and Manchester Police raided the house looking for me. Why were they looking for me? Because Homeland Security stole my phone during a trial in federal court for a petty offense. I was found guilty of a violation and, given a $100 fine. And then this Homeland Security guy came over and grabbed my phone out of my hand because he thought I was recording. He kept it, said the judge confiscated it. Long story short, the judge didn't confiscate it, and they went to another judge and got some kind of warrant. I don't know. I haven't seen it. But obviously, they had my house surrounded, and, I am running for governor, just so you know. And to begin with, I intentionally got myself arrested for recording in the lobby because there's a poster in the lobby that says Rules Governing Conduct on Federal Property, CFR 74.102-420. It says you're allowed to film in the lobby, hallways, corridors, and auditoriums.
Okay.
And so I was arrested because they are trying to apply a local rule 83.8, which is for courtroom procedure in regard to getting permission to film during a hearing. So I got arrested to challenge this thing because it's unconstitutional. The other thing that you guys should be aware of is that the federal government does not have jurisdiction. And that was part of my trial that the federal government refused to even address. They told me RSA 123.1, which is acquisition of federal property from the state of New Hampshire by the federal government, it governs how they get property from us. The prosecutor said, oh, those are just words on paper. But I have a document from the Secretary of State that says explicitly the federal government has never complied with New Hampshire RSA 123.1, never filed anything since 1883, and they would only get concurrent jurisdiction. So this is how cession happens. So there was never a cession, right? So there can't even be a secession because they never accepted our offer of cession. There's one case law on this. It's Newington versus Campanella Construction, and it's a New Hampshire Supreme Court case, and they said that the federal government has never complied with our offer of cession, and they do not have exclusive jurisdiction. As far as I'm concerned, they don't have any jurisdiction if they haven't complied with this thing. And that's the first element that they need to prove. And so I need protection.
What can I help you with? This is a state department. It's not a federal department.
Yes, they contacted you guys to help them effectuate this warrant that I have no...
You guys, you mean state police?
State police. I was told that it was state police, Manchester police. I've already called the chief of police. I used to work with Al Aldenberg on the mobile crisis response team.
From state police? Do you need a report of some kind from
I would like to know something, and ultimately I need to clear this up, and I want to turn myself in and find out what's going on, but they're not giving me any documentation of anything. It's very strange, and it's kind of scary.
Okay. So, what's your name?
Frank Staples, aka Footloose.
Okay, so it sounds like you have a couple of things going on at once.
Yes. So
I'm first order. Have you been in touch with the Department of Justice at all?
I have. I called and left a message. They didn't have anybody to talk to. It's only some voicemail thing. So I called and left the message. They should hopefully call me back. I've talked to I left a message for Commander Thompson of Homeland Security. He's the New England coordinator. I got his business card right here. Okay. And I also talked, I left a message for the chief of police and the Hillsborough County Sheriff. I did actually talk to a person there because I would like to turn myself in through the sheriffs in Manchester PD and Al Aldenberg because I know Al personally and I trust him. I do not trust the state police and I do not trust Homeland Security at all.
Okay, but you need a report from them?
I need a report from somebody. The Homeland Security is refusing to provide me anything. I went there I went down there twice to the Norris Cotton building and talked to the commander both times, but also the guy that took my phone. And he conceded, oh, the judge didn't confiscate your phone. I took your phone. And then when the commander told me he can't give me any documentation because the guy wasn't here. I'm like, you guys have to have something like it's freedom of information, Article 8, however you want to look at it. There's got to be something.
Who did the arrest? Was it state police?
There was no. That's what I'm saying. There was no arrest. I was never arrested.
There won't be a report if there is no arrest.
So I was in the middle of my trial. And the judge said, guilty. And I said, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm out of here. I picked up all my stuff. I started cussing everybody out. She was like, I want to hold him in contempt. And then they surrounded me and the guy grabbed my phone. And then they were like, get out of the building. I'm like, I thought I was being held in contempt. They're like, no, the judge wants you out. So I left. I said, I want my phone. And they said, we'll give it to you outside. I went outside. And then they came out. And I have this part on video. He says, the judge is confiscating your phone. We're keeping your phone. And I'm like, what? I want some sort of receipt. And they said, you can get one from the clerk. And there is nothing. I've also filed a police report with Concord PD on this. And nothing has been... This was immediately after it happened because...
When was that? Was that something?
This was... oh, geez. Let me see here. The April 9th, I believe, 2024 was the trial. And so...
Was that in Hillsborough Court?
No, this was in the federal court.
Federal
Downtown courthouse.
Concord?
Concord, 55 Pleasant Street. And so I talked to U.S. Marshals, and I said, who would have jurisdiction over a theft if... This is theft. If there's no documentation, this is outside of the jurisprudence and law. And so... They said you have to call Concord PD. They would have jurisdiction, right? So that just goes to show that if Concord PD has jurisdiction in there, state police can have jurisdiction in there as well. And even if they...
We don't govern the local police department. So if it's in with Concord, then it would be with Concord, especially if...
What about on federal property?
Or make any kind of arrest.
What about...
No, it would be in the custody of the Concord Police Department.
What would be?
If you had any...
right.
Yeah,
there was no arrest.
You said your cell phone or something like that?
Yeah, they kept my cell phone and they said...
That would be Concord, yeah.
We think there's evidence of a crime on it. And I mean, come on, I don't have to furnish anything. It's not like there was an actual crime that I've been arrested for. They think I committed a crime, which is apparently recording...
So do you think they submitted it to the crime lab?
They told me it's safe. It's safe. Don't worry. We have it. That's what the commander said. So I'm not necessarily...
Concord. That's Concord PD?
No, this is Commander Thompson of FPS. Homeland Security.
FPS?
Homeland Security, Federal Protective.
Homeland Security. That's not ours. Yeah, it's not the department. That's yours.
Correct. But they contacted... They can't do a raid without your help and the local help. So they had you guys... State Police and Manchester Police surrounding my house, looking for me.
Okay, when did that take place?
I don't know exactly. It was approximately 2 months ago.
In raid. All right. So what's today is June, April.
So they said like March,
May,
maybe.
March, April, May. So
March,
I'd say April.
Possibly. He said it was like March or April. So he's like, is
probably
at least
around the same time. If you said the trial was.
Yeah. So probably April. It had to have been after because. The whole week after, I was right outside FPS, like, videotaping, trying to get documentation, so I don't know why I wouldn't have been arrested at that point. And then I filed a motion for reconsideration, and that's when the prosecutor objected, and in that objection, he mentioned how they went to another judge to get a warrant. Like, why would you go to another judge? the judge has jurisdiction when a trial's happening. The witness in the case can't come over and steal my phone. I don't care if he's DHS. He wasn't there. He was there to testify in the case, and it was ongoing. There was like 15 U.S. Marshals and court security at least, and they weren't told by the judge to do anything. So what authority does this rogue agent have to do any of this? There's no crime. They can't even articulate a crime.
You mean the Homeland Security guy?
Yeah, he stole my phone because he thinks I was recording in the courtroom. And there's no crime. There's no law.
In Concord PD?
Homeland Security is the one who stole my phone.
Let me see if I have a number I can find for you.
No, their number doesn't work. Their number is 603-666-7411. It goes to a fast busy signal. And they have no secretary. You go down there and you can't even go see them. There's no way to even see them. They come down to see you in the lobby. So it's like I can't even file a FOIA request with they're like black agents. It's very strange. And so if they got like some sort of FISA warrant or something, they're gonna hold me without bail until I open the phone to supposedly furnish evidence of me recording in a public hearing. Like, I need the protection of the state police and the sheriffs on this thing, because like I said, they don't have jurisdiction to operate, and you guys need to know that, because if somebody gets shot and killed, because I'm known for recording the police, and I'm gonna reach for my phone and start recording, they know that. They're gonna say, oh, he was reaching, and they shoot me, and then, oh, oops, we thought it was just a camera. So that's what I'm worried about here.
All right, so let me see.
And to let you know, I'm into the politics and whatnot, and I am also running for governor. So
okay,
this is going to be a situation.
Well, the only direction I can give you would be the state police director's office, unless you keep trying the Department of Justice, because usually they are the ones that are involved in cases like this. The Department of Safety is law enforcement. Emergency management as
sure.
far as
but you guys were in on this raid.
Training firefighters, emergency communications, etc. So if you feel the state police were involved in the raid of your home in April, they might have some information in the director's office. That's the only lead I could give you. But other than that, I would stress or really encourage you to keep trying the Department of Justice, because they're the ones that advocate for the public like that.
Advocate for the public? This is called tyranny. This is called tyranny.
If you have a civil complaint, if you have a complaint about, say the police department or some government entity, they have a public integrity unit that's not gonna. They think they can make up what they told me. That you have your opinion, and I respect that, but that's the direction I could give you.
The prosecutor said that our state laws are just words on paper.
Well, the people that make the laws are the legislators, not this office, so I can't help you.
I understand that, but I'm just trying to tell you what's really going on, and what's supposed to be going on the books is two different things.
Okay. Well, that's the only.
So yeah, if you can transfer me to the director.
To the director's office.
Sure, that'd be great.
All right.
Awesome, thank you.
Hold on a second. Did you want me to take your number in case you get disconnected?
Yes, please.
What's your phone number?
603-722-5408.
08. So when I connect you, if I may suggest, just start your conversation with the state police involvement in the raid of your home.
Okay.
Because that way they'll be able to focus on trying to help you find any information. If there is anything to find for you, they might ask you questions like where and if you know anybody's name or something like that. But if that's what we can help you with in this department, we'll certainly do that.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Let me get you over there. Hold on a minute.
Excellent.
Sorry.
New Hampshire State Police Director's Office?
is not available. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hi, my name is Frank Staples. I was just talking to someone, I think it was public relations, and there was a raid that was effectuated with state police and other agencies at my former residence in Manchester, and I'm trying to find out what happened with that. I've called all the the courts and the U.S. attorneys and Homeland Security and everybody that's involved in this thing to try to find out what's going on, why they're doing this, and if you can call me back, that would be phenomenal. My name is Frank Staples, 603-722-5408. Again, it's Frank Staples, 603-722-5408. Thank you so much.
To send this message, press pound or your message has been sent. If you
All right, so we'll try Department of Justice again.
Good afternoon, U.S. Attorney's Office.
Hi, how's it going? So I'm calling to find out why Department of Homeland Security raided my former residence until about 60 days ago, and was looking for me to arrest me.
Okay. Let me transfer you over to the duty attorney.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
The party you are trying to reach is not available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone. Press the pound key to end recording.
Yeah, hi, this is Frank Staples, aka Footloose, and I'm calling to try to find out why the Homeland Security raided my house with state police and Manchester police over this phone, the theft of my phone situation. And so I don't know what's going on. Somebody needs to call me back as soon as possible, and my number is 603-722-5408. Again, that's Frank Staples, 603-722-5408.
Thank you. To send your message, press 3 or hang up. To delete your current message and
Calling them right back, because that's what the state police said.
Good afternoon, U.S. Attorney's Office.
Hi, I just called and I was transferred to the duty attorney or something, and I did leave a message, but I don't know if there's somebody else higher up or something that I can talk to about this situation, because it's pretty serious, and apparently I need to turn myself in or something, and you know, I want to get this ball rolling so I could turn myself in with an attorney or something.
Okay. One moment. Do you mind holding?
No, that's fine.
Hello?
Hello.
I'm going to transfer you over.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hi, this is Jennifer.
Hi, how's it going? My name is Frank Staples.
Okay.
And so about, I don't know, approximately 2 months ago, Homeland Security effectuated a raid with Manchester Police and State Police at my former residence. I don't know why. I'm trying to find out. I've called the clerk of courts. There's nothing in on the record for anything as far as me missing a court date, because that's what one of the neighbors told me they had said. And I've called.
They're not going to raid your house for missing a court date.
Well, they stole my phone. Michael
Who stole your phone?
Michael Plant. He was the witness in my trial. I don't know if you.
Okay, let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
What trial
So
are you talking about?
I had a trial for a petty offense, a petty violation. I got a ticket from Michael Plant in the lobby of the courthouse with another gentleman. We both got arrested and we both got tickets for disobeying.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because we were recording in the lobby in accordance with CFR 74.
Okay.
Right? What is it? 102.420. It says we're allowed to film the lobby, hallways, and the corridors. So we were charged and we went to trial. And at the end of my trial, wasn't over yet, I said that I was done and I'm leaving, and I started grabbing all my stuff and I started cussing out the judge and the prosecutor, and the judge was like, I want to hold him in contempt, and I got surrounded by
Yep, because you can't do that.
what?
So,
Start swearing? I know. Well,
scream and swearing at a judge, no.
yeah, that's fine. I get it. I have a disability and it's just like Tourette's. I can't control myself all the time. So there's that. And so I did it. And then the witness, Michael Plant, who had just been testifying, he was the one who arrested us, wrote the tickets. He was the only person in the case. He came over, took the initiative to grab the phone and rip it out of my hand. He was not ordered to do that by the judge. In fact, they said, get out of the building. I said, I thought I'm being held in contempt. What's going on? And they said, no, just leave. I said, I want my phone. And they said, we'll give it to you outside. When I get outside, I ran to my car and got my recording device because they said they're going to keep my phone. He came back out, and I have it on video that he's keeping my phone and that the judge confiscated my phone and that I could get a receipt from the clerk.
Was this, Frank, was this stemming from the Freeman case?
What do you mean? I have nothing to do with the Freeman case.
Okay.
So
I'm just trying to navigate as you're talking to me of like.
I have nothing to do with any Freeman case. I was recording in the lobby with a state representative named Jason Gerhard. We were both arrested. We both had trial the same day. He had his trial, I had mine. And like I said, during the middle of my trial, the witness came over and grabbed my phone, and then they kicked me out of the building.
Who is Mr. Plant?
Michael Plant is a Department of Homeland Security Nazi. And I went to the Norris Cotton building twice, and so he told me, because I called the clerk and they said there's no contempt, the judge has nothing to do with it. So I went to the Norris Cotton building, and the commander, Phil Thompson, and Michael Plant came out. I have this on video, and Michael Plant said, I was like, what happened with my phone? You said the judge, he said, no, I took it. I took your phone. And I'm like, well, I want some sort of documentation. He's like, don't worry about it. It's safe. We're going to come to your house. Are you still at 332? He's referring to 332 Merrimack Street where the raid happened. And I said, no, I don't live there anymore. That's a mailing address. I said, why are you going to come to my house? He said, oh, to give you some papers or something. And I said, you can just mail them there.
So let's fast forward to why you're calling today.
Why I'm calling today is because...
And Michael Plant is not a Homeland Security agent.
FPS? What is he?
That's Federal Protective Services. That's not... that's who, guards the buildings.
I have the business card from Phil Thompson. It's U.S. Department of Homeland Security, FPS. It's both. So Homeland Security is FPS.
They're subsidiary of. Okay.
Either way, they took control in the courtroom and took my phone. And so here's a key. Hold on. There's a key piece. So I filed a motion for reconsideration on the guilty verdict, and the government objected. And in that objection, they stated that because I mentioned them taking my phone, I asked the judge to order them to give me my phone back. And the prosecution said the phone was taken, confiscated by law enforcement, and we went to another judge and got a warrant. I still haven't. I haven't gotten any information. Oh, and here's the other thing. So I just found this. This raid happened like 2 months ago. I found out 2 days ago, and the neighbors were like, "Oh yeah, they had the whole place surrounded. Manchester PD, state police. They're asking about you, your whereabouts, where you were." And then the guy says, "This is the downstairs guy." He says, "Oh yeah, because I said I was told from another neighbor that they said I missed a court date." He said, "Oh, they didn't say that to me." And then he goes, "But you did receive 2 FedEx packages. One of them I found in the lawn open, and I could read some of it, and it was legal stuff, and I put them in the paper shredder. So whatever was sent to me in this case through FedEx and left on the doorstep of one of the worst neighborhoods in Manchester, like, I don't know why they're not using U.S. mail. This is my legal mailing address. I have a mailbox there. Don't leave my stuff on the porch, the front steps, so some crackhead, this is like Crackhead City, Merrimack Street. Prostitutes and crackheads all day long. So that's not serving me. Sending me something through FedEx that gets left on a doorstep, the proper procedure would be U.S. Postal Service, return receipt requested. Then if I'm not there, I have to go to the post office to get it and sign for it with my ID, and then you guys have verification. And even if you didn't,
Sure.
if it didn't get returned to sender, you can assume that I got it. But leaving something on the doorstep in a horrible neighborhood that actually has had many reports from Manchester PD not to leave packages on the front steps because of theft.
So again, let's fast forward to the reason for your call today.
The reason for my call today is I'm trying to find out what's going on, and I'm trying to turn myself in if I need to, but I can't find any information from anybody.
Okay. Just taking notes.
It's crazy. And especially that I was never even arrested. So it's not like they confiscated my phone because it's evidence of some sort of crime. It's evidence of...
Well, you were arrested at the courthouse.
No, I was not arrested at my trial. I was arrested and then I went to trial. They confiscated my phone. They did not arrest me. They just told me to leave and they kept my phone.
Frank, what's your telephone number?
603-722-5408.
5408.
I don't know why they haven't called me. They have my email me something like, this is insane.
Okay, so it's 603-722-5408.
Yes.
And you said that address that was raided is no longer.
I told Plant and the commander that when he said we're going to come by there, I said it's a mailing address for a reason.
So that is a mailing address. That is a correct mailing address.
It is a correct mailing address. Correct.
Okay.
Yes. I don't live there. It's not a residence.
So how do you have a mailing address there?
Because I have permission to use it. Legal permission. And that's all I need to tell you. So if you don't think I have permission, then fuck around and find out. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I am homeless. I have a legal mailing address that I don't live there. I am homeless.
Lower your voice.
Well,
I asked you a simple question.
yeah, and I gave you a simple answer, and I apologize, but I have head trauma, and when I get excited, my voice gets loud, so I apologize.
All right. Let me see what I can find out, and somebody will get back to you. Likely not today, but somebody will get back to you in the next few days.
Okay, well, can you please tell these people, stop wasting our tax dollars on these expenditures for nothing. I will willingly go to jail, and I will fight this from jail. I will file a writ of habeas corpus. That's been my intention this whole time. So I'm not afraid to go to jail. I'm not running. I'm not hiding. But this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Okay. I hear everything you're saying, and
I'm not trying to accidentally get shot because I reached for my phone to record my arrest, and then they say, oh, oops, we thought he was reaching for a gun. So this seems a little bit suspicious.
I'm not gonna have that conversation with you.
I'm having that conversation with you, and you're on notice that if something happens to me, everybody already knows and is aware of what's happening.
Okay.
Okay? I am not a threat. I am non-violent, and you guys are acting like tyrants. You're acting like petty tyrants.
I'm gonna hang up the phone.
Hang it up.
And I
Go
will
ahead.
research
Thank you. I
where,
appreciate it.
Who you need to speak to, and I will have somebody will get back to you.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Not gonna have that. You are gonna have that fucking conversation, yo. This is the problem, right? Oh no, cops don't shoot people to death for no reason. Give me a fucking break.
You left a message on our machine at headquarters
Yes,
asking about something that was going on in Manchester.
correct.
So we're not involved in anything that I'm aware of. So I'm not exactly sure just what you're referring to.
So this was like 2 months ago,
Oh, okay.
and it was with state police. This is what I was told. It was state police, Manchester police, and Homeland Security. Not sure if the sheriffs were there. I did talk to the sheriff's department about this.
Yeah.
And so,
I guess, so what's the, do you have, so you haven't lived there in a while, or?
no, I moved out in January, beginning of January. Yeah.
And this happened since then?
This happened since then. So I had a trial on April 9th in the federal court for a petty offense for recording in the lobby, right?
Sure.
And I took it to trial. I lost. I grabbed my stuff. Trial was not finished. I said, fuck you, I'm out of here. And the judge was like, that's fine. And I started cussing out the prosecutor and the judge. And, I kind of blacked out. I have head trauma. I get like hyperaggression, and I was just...
Wasn't a great day.
It wasn't a great day. And so it was kind of like a Tourette, it's like people have Tourette's, and it's kind of like that type of a thing. It is what it is. I'm not, I'm not proud of it, but it is what it is. So I freaked out and cussed some people out, and then the judge said, get him out. But the witness in the case, Homeland Security Officer Michael Plant, he came over and grabbed my phone out of my hand, and they were like, we'll give you the phone outside. And they didn't. He told me the judge confiscated it, but then 2 days later in front of Norris Cotton Building, he said that he kept it. And then they got a warrant. And so the prosecutor also in a court filing said that they got a warrant from another judge to, I don't know exactly. I have not got a copy of the warrant.
Well, what's that have to do with the whatever took place at the residence in Manchester?
Because they came to arrest me. So this guy, Michael Plant, thinks that I was recording with my cell phone in the courthouse, in the courtroom.
Okay.
And
so you're saying that somebody came and looked for you at your old address?
Not somebody, somebodies, a whole bunch of somebodies, and there's tons of hidden cameras all over the property, so it's all on video.
Yep.
So that's what you guys don't realize either, is that the guy downstairs or upstairs has hidden cameras everywhere. And
but did anything happen, I guess?
They looked for me, and I heard from one of the neighbors that I missed a court date, and so I asked the downstairs guy who actually talked to, Manchester PD, state police, and everything. They were asking where my last whereabouts, where did I go? He told them last he knew I went to Nashua, whatever. So, what was I saying? What was the question?
Well, no, I'm just curious. So, why are you calling now? I mean, it sounds like that.
I just found out 2 days ago
that they were looking for you.
Correct, and I've gotten no documentation about my phone. They still have my phone in custody, Homeland Security. Yep. And so from what I understand, they got a warrant to hold me until I open the phone, so that they can try to get proof confirming or denying whether or not I actually recorded in the courtroom, which is not a crime. There's no crime. So I don't have it. There's no crime or anything.
That doesn't involve us, I don't think.
Yes, they coordinated. They have to coordinate with local and state police, and that's who was there that day. The whole house was surrounded.
I get that, but I guess my point is that if nothing, if you weren't located that day, what's the
like, have you reached out to HSI or whoever who might have this warrant or whatever to say, like, hey, I'm right here, like,
Yeah.
I'll talk to you?
I called the court. I called the clerk of federal court. There's nothing. I called, let me look at my list. I called the U.S. attorneys, the clerk. I called Homeland Security. I didn't get through to everybody. I left messages. I talked to the chief of Manchester Police. I left a message there, Diane Kingsbury. And the sheriff, I did talk to somebody at the sheriff. A report was filed with them because the federal government does not even have jurisdiction in New Hampshire. And the prosecutor in my case at the trial said that RSA 123.1, which is the acquisition of property by the federal government in the state of New Hampshire, it's our state law that allows them to acquire state property, right?
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So if there is some, and I don't know, I'm just throwing this out there. If there is an agency that has a warrant or somebody that wants to talk to you, are you willing to talk to them and be located?
Well, yeah, that's why I was calling, and that's why I called.
Okay.
I am trying to, coordinate me turning myself in.
Okay. Well, how about this? How about I'll make a couple phone calls to HSI and see if there is anything, and if there's not, I'll call you back and I'll just say, hey, there's nothing that I'm aware of. And if there is, then I'll get you in contact with somebody.
Awesome, thanks. I appreciate it.
I'll do my best. I'll call this number back if I find anything out.
Appreciate it. What was your name again?
Right. Bill Bright.
Bill Bright?
Yep.
All right, thanks, Bill. Take it easy.
All right, you too.
All right, bye-bye. Sorry, I'm putting you on speaker. So I was informed that Manchester Police raided my former house with state police and Homeland Security looking for me.
Well, where was your former house?
332 Merrimack Street.
Okay. Is that like an apartment building?
Correct.
Okay. How long has it been since you lived there?
January.
Okay. Is it? I don't think you wanted. Is it possible they were just looking for somebody else?
Well, so it's
Somebody else
not,
was there?
they're not looking for me for a crime. They got a warrant to get into my phone. So I was arrested in the lobby of the federal courthouse for recording. It was a petty offense. I got found guilty. It was a $100 fine. And in the middle of my trial, at the end of it, I was kicked out of the courtroom, and the witness in the case, a Homeland Security officer, grabbed my phone and ripped it out of my hand. And I was like, I want my phone. They said, we'll give it to you outside. He didn't. When I got outside, he told me the judge confiscated it. But then I found out the judge didn't confiscate it, and that they went to another judge to get a warrant because they think I recorded inside the courtroom with my phone. And so they're planning to hold me in jail until I open the phone.
And how long ago did this happen?
This was approximately 2 months ago is what I was told.
Well, were you not there when they...
Of course not. I don't live there. Why would I be there? I don't live there.
Oh, no, sir. I meant when did this happen at court where they took the phone from you?
Oh, that was... hold on, let me check real quick. It was 4/9/24.
That was when you were at court?
Correct. I've called I've talked to the clerks.
And were you at the federal court in Concord, New Hampshire?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And so I've gotten, this is the thing, I've gotten no documentation. So I was like, I want documentation. He said, go get it from the court or from the clerk. And then I waited till the next day. I called the clerk. She said, nope, we have nothing to do with your phone. The judge didn't file a contempt charge. I talked to U.S. Marshals. They don't have nothing to do with it. Court security has nothing to do with it. I went to Norris Cotton Building because that's where these DHS officer, his name is Michael Plant, and Commander Phil K. Thompson. I saw both of them the first time, and Michael Plant, the guy who took my phone, he then said, I took your phone. The judge didn't take your phone. I took your phone. We're getting a warrant. His commander said, it's safe. I went back a couple days later. I tried to do a FOIA request. Like this, both times I tried to get some sort of proof or documentation or evidence of my $1,300 phone being taken, and have received nothing. So the last time that I went and I saw, and I have all these these are all on video, right? So the commander said that the phone is safe and that Michael Plant was not here, so he couldn't give me any proof or documentation of anything. And, at this point, as far as I'm concerned, these guys they stole from me. There's no crime. There's no charge of a crime. And we're allowed to record in public, as you know. I've done it here in Manchester. I've done it all over the state of New Hampshire in the New Hampshire Supreme Court.
Yeah, so I'm not going to argue with you at all. Whether you can record or not. So it sounds like your concern is a federal agent took your phone and didn't provide you
yes, I actually
a search warrant or receipt that they took it or anything like that.
Correct. And so early in that process, I called home U.S. Marshals, and I said, who has jurisdiction over a theft? And they said Concord Police have jurisdiction on that property in a case of theft. So I filed a theft charge with Concord PD, and I've not heard anything back from them.
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty crazy. And so what Homeland Security can do is they can get these secret FISA warrants to detain people, and that's got to be what's going on. I mean, otherwise, where's my freaking phone?
Well, you're not being detained, right? You're at home, I'm assuming?
I am free, yes. I'm not being detained, and that's the problem. I'm trying to turn myself in and clear this up, and I talked to state police, talked to sheriffs. I'm still waiting for calls back from, higher-ups and whatnot, but...
Yeah. Well, as far as I know, you're not wanted for anything, so the only thing I can say is I wasn't there and I don't know the details, but based on what you're telling me, what can happen is if there's evidence that can be altered in any way, shape, or form, like a cell phone, for example, because we can delete things off of there and all that kind of a thing. The police can seize the phone and hold it until they apply for a search warrant, just to protect any evidence that may be on the phone. So they can do that, but I don't know if that's the case in this situation.
It's a little different because it's not like I'm suspected of a bank robbery or murder and there's evidence of it on it.
Right, but did you say that they took it because you were filming in court?
They took it because they think I may have filmed during court.
Yeah, so that might be the reason. I don't know.
But what's the crime? What would that crime be, sir?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Right, exactly. So that's the problem. System, there is no crime. There's no crime. There's actually a poster in the lobby that this is the law, CFR, Code of Federal Rules, 102-74-420, and or 74-102-420, and that is governing the conduct on federal property, and it says that we are allowed to record in the lobby, hallways, corridors, and auditoriums. So we're allowed to film. I'm just trying to say, well, if you can't even articulate a crime, they can't articulate a crime that they think happened. They think I may have recorded, and what crime may that be? We don't know. Yeah. There is none.
Well, I don't know the federal law. I'm just Manchester Police, Frank. How can Manchester Police help you? Because it sounds like you filed a report with Concord PD for the theft of your phone in Concord. Sounds like they have jurisdiction in Concord. Manchester does not. And Manchester does not have jurisdiction with the federal government. So, and you spoke with Michael Plant and Phil Thompson, and they're both from Homeland Security?
Correct.
And one of those gentlemen is the one that took your phone.
Correct.
So it sounds like those are the people you need to...
I tried to talk to them. Then their phone number goes to a fast busy signal. I called Thompson's cell phone number because I got his business card, and it just went to voicemail, and I have not heard back from him at all. So my concern here is that my former residence was surrounded by 3 different gangs with guns coming to get me for no danger No one's in danger. No crime
but
committed.
What? But you were told that. Somebody must have told you that, right? Because you don't live there anymore.
Yeah, the downstairs people.
Sounds like
it's
they're
on
making
video.
an
It's on
assumption.
video. There was hidden cameras all over the property. Okay, it's on video.
But the downstairs
And
neighbors
multiple
were
neighbors
sure.
witnessed it. Like listen,
I'm not saying the police weren't there. I'm just saying, how do you know they were coming for you?
because they talked to everyone. They talked to all the neighbors, asked where my last whereabouts was, all that stuff.
Yeah, and if that's the feds, I just don't have.
No, it was Manchester PD, State Police, and Homeland Security.
I have no idea, but it sounds like I checked
So
on your name. You're not wanted. So
I don't
unless
care
they
if I'm not
just
wanted.
contact you.
I understand I'm not wanted in quotes because there's no crime. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. But the fact remains that you guys helped the federal government come effectuate a raid at my house for what reason?
I have no idea.
Well, it's got to be some sort. You're telling me there's no record of that at all?
I don't see anything listed under your name.
I don't want my. It's not about my name.
Well-
It's what about with Homeland Security?
Well, Frank, let me just be really clear. We can't check Homeland Security's records or reports. We just don't have access to it. It's possible that if they were going to go... Wait, let me finish.
Yeah.
It's possible if they were going to go to the address, they may have reached out to us and just say, hey, we want you guys to be aware we're going there. We want a uniform presence.
No,
And
the
they
whole...
may have sent patrol. You're not letting me finish.
Sorry.
I'm just trying to
This
explain
is-
as best
I
I can to answer your
understand what you're
question.
trying to explain.
Okay, so it's possible that that's what happened, and we wouldn't necessarily write a report on that because if we're just going there to assist another agency.
You would have no documentation of being called in to help. So how do we know all that money that was wasted with you guys being there?
What money?
The money that you guys get paid to work, correct? And so instead of doing your normal job, which is patrolling Manchester or whatever it is, then you guys are sent on this wild goose chase for a guy with a camera?
Well, that is part of our normal duties. To
Oh, that is not. You have to obey the state laws. And the federal government does not have, you could write this down, RSA 123.1. And that's the acquisition of federal lands from the state of New Hampshire. I have a document and I have a video from Secretary of State Scanlon right before I went to my trial on April 9th. This was April 8th. He said that the federal government has never complied with RSA 123.1. And that means they don't have any property in New Hampshire. The only way for them to get property is to purchase it or to cede, they're an active session, right, with New Hampshire. So 123.1 is how the federal government gets property from New Hampshire. They have never complied since 1883. The Secretary of State said they've never complied with it. And there's one case law. It's a New Hampshire Supreme Court case, Newington versus Campanella Construction. And you can read in there, it's a very short case, but it says that the federal government has never accepted our offer of cession and they do not have exclusive jurisdiction. And as far as I'm concerned, they don't have any jurisdiction because if they complied with 123.1, they would have concurrent jurisdiction with New Hampshire, but they've never complied with it, so they don't even have that. So they can't be going around orchestrating these raids and all this. This is insane.
Well,
So if you guys want to follow the law, you should look into that and make sure you're not, assisting the federal government when they have zero jurisdiction. So that is a serious question.
Okay, well, I don't think any of those things are at issue here.
Of course it is,
Sounds like
because
you're trying to
if the
get
federal
control
government
of
does
that.
not have jurisdiction, they can't charge me with a crime and they can't come looking for me here in New Hampshire.
Sure they can.
How?
The feds lock people up in New Hampshire all the time.
Yes, and that's because they think they have jurisdiction, and the first element of any offense, the filming in the lobby, the first element was that it happened on federal property. So they have to prove that that was federal property. In my trial, they did not prove. You know what they told me? The prosecutor said about 123.1. He said, so you're telling me that the federal government didn't comply with this state statute, that we don't have jurisdiction? I said, well, yeah, that's literally what it says. You don't own any property. You don't have any control or authority. And so he said, well, those are just words on paper.
I don't.
So if that's how it is, and the federal government says these laws are just words on paper, then why do I need to follow these words on paper? If you guys don't need to follow the words on paper.
How did Manchester Police not follow the law?
Because you assisted the federal government, who has no jurisdiction, and you're not taking this 123.1 situation that proves that they don't have jurisdiction. I can send you an email with a copy of the gold sealed certificate that I have.
I don't need that.
Well, why not? I thought you were investigating this. Don't you want to know with the truth?
I'm not investigating anything, Frank. I was asked to give you a call.
Right, and I'm trying to
that's why
sort
I'm
this
trying to
out.
figure out what you need to do, and it sounds like you want your phone back, and I think the best way to do that is to go through the agency that took it. And I don't know
I
if you have an
tried.
attorney
I
assigned to
told
your
you I
case,
tried.
but
Nope, no
I would
attorney. I'm
go
pro
through your
se.
attorney.
I'm pro se.
Yeah, I would recommend you get an attorney.
You want to pay for it?
If you can afford one, they can appoint you one.
No, it's a petty case. It's a petty offense. There's no jury trial and no court appointed.
I mean, if I don't know how serious all this is, but
It's a petty offense. It's $100 fine. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's not even serious at all. They can't even put me in jail.
Right, but your concern is that they have property of yours.
And they're going to hold me in jail until I open the phone. Now, that's a problem.
That's why you need an attorney.
No, that's foolish.
Do you know what they say about the person who represents themselves?
Do you know that I won a pro se 1983 against the state of New Hampshire in the state prison, and that I've represented myself with all kinds of stuff, these petty things pro se, and won? I was arrested at the executive council meeting with 9 other people, and I was the only one that went to trial, and I won pro se. So I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm talking about. I know more about the law than most lawyers do, and police for that matter.
That's fine.
Well, no, it's not fine. It's not fine because you guys are the ones that are supposed to uphold the law, and even the U.S. Marshals as well. I ask them, what's the rule?
Why are you mad at me?
I'm not mad. I'm not mad, sir. I'm not mad. I'm just having a conversation, and I get like, this is concerning. I could get shot and killed because I reached to record my arrest for recording, and then I get shot by somebody. Oh, I thought he was reaching for a gun. Okay, that's my biggest concern here. And then the fact that I can't find any proof that from any law enforcement agency that you guys actually went there. It's like some secret thing that you guys are trying to, get me.
Not a secret.
It is a secret because you can't confirm or deny whether or not you guys worked.
Listen, if I had something in my system that said that, I would tell you. But
who would have something? So you're telling me whenever you guys do a joint mission with federal agencies, you don't have documentation of it?
Well, it's not for us. Like I said, it may just be a mutual aid where they send officers over there to assist another agency.
And how do they do that? Do they call 911? How do they do this? Emails?
No, they'll just probably talk to a supervisor over the phone.
And then who would that supervisor be?
It just depends on who's working on that particular day.
Any supervisor?
Yeah. Or they may go through an agent. Maybe they're familiar with somebody. It's really a simple process.
But they don't have to provide like any, we have this thing from the federal court or a judge or this or that, and that's why you're going to help me. They can just
depend. It just depends. Because I don't know why you're saying that a neighbor told you, which is already hearsay. So I don't even know what they told you is correct. What I can do is I can see if they put a call for service in that was in the dispatch log.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I don't see a report on file, but
could you do that for me?
But I can check. But again, like that neighbor is making some assumptions.
No, it's not just one neighbor, dude. It was a lot. All the neighbors. The whole place was surrounded.
They don't have the whole story, though. They only know what they saw. They don't know everything that's going on.
They know what they were told, and they know that they were asking for me and where I was, and when.
It doesn't mean they were going to arrest you. They might just want to talk to you.
They might have just wanted to talk to me about what? That seems pretty
case. What do you want me to say?
Well, no, I mean the only thing I could think of
jump into conclusions.
is they're trying to intimidate me or kill me.
Yeah,
one or the other.
That's doubtful.
It happens. It happens.
Really.
It
Mostly
happens.
in the movies.
No, I've seen.
Do
you know how many? Do you know how many people I've seen executed by police officers on video?
How many?
A lot.
Video?
A lot. Do you ever see the guy in the hotel room that was crawling on the floor, and the guy's like, crawl towards me, and he freaking offs him with a freaking AR? Come on, man.
Listen.
It happens.
Slow down. The police are regular people.
I agree. I'm not an ACAB guy.
We just go out there and we do our job. No one goes out, puts on their uniform, hoping to kill people. That's
some of them do. Well, they're just people, and there are killers out there. And so, if people are killers and cops are people, then cops can be killers. So I'm not saying all cops are killers. I'm not saying all cops are killers.
We're going down a rabbit trail.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm not an ACAB guy. I'm trying to tell you. I'm not against cops. I have law enforcement friends.
So we're going down a rabbit trail. Let me get off the phone with you. I'll double check with dispatch and see if there's a call for service at 332 Merrimack Street. And you said it was about 2 months ago. And that's about all I can do. I'll let you know what I find.
Yeah, it would be between.
But your beef and your concern is going to be with the agency that took your son.
Correct, but I have to cover all my bases, sir, and that's all I'm doing. And I appreciate your help.
Okay, let me go find out. I'll get back to you in a couple minutes.
Yeah, do from the 9th, 4/9 to, present day, I guess.
Okay.
Thank you. All right.
All right, take care.
You too. Bye-bye. So, yeah, that was Manchester Police. Hello?
Hey, Frank, it's me again.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, so I checked out with dispatch, and they have a call for service on April 15, where we sent patrol to assist Homeland Security to serve you a summons to court, and they were unable to locate you.
Summons.
So it wasn't to raid your apartment or to lock you up. They had a subpoena for court, and they sent patrol over as a uniformed presence to assist.
All right. And what was that call for service number?
I don't have it. It was on April 15th.
April 15th from DHS. And how did state police get involved? They called them too, I guess?
I don't think state police was called.
They were there.
Well, you have to check with state police.
I did. I will again. I talked to, I know you can't answer for them.
Generally, unless state police was like on some kind of a task force or something, we don't use state police in the city limits because we have our own personnel. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
We don't need state police.
Right.
So I don't know if there was one there. I have no idea why, but we just sent a patrol over to assist it. I guess sometimes when like Homeland Security, whatever, some guys are like in plain clothes, and we'll send uniforms over just to make sure that people believe that it's actually the police.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, Homeland Security just requested us to go over to serve you a subpoena for court. And that was why they were there.
Okay. I don't know why they wouldn't just send it in the mail.
They have to serve it in hand, as far as I know. I know we do for state stuff.
So, I mean, I've been...
Because if we send it in the mail, people say, "Oh, I never got it," and then they don't show up for court. You know what I mean? So we always have to serve it in hand.
Yeah, well, they've been sending me stuff through FedEx and leaving it on the front steps of Merrimack Street, and so that was another thing. The downstairs neighbor was like, "Oh yeah, you also did receive," because it's still my mailing address, my legal mailing address, and he said you had packages left on the front steps. One of them I found in the front lawn. It was open and wet. And I read it, and I could see that it was legal mail. And I said, well, what'd you do with it? He goes, I put it through the paper shredder. I'm like, well, what the hell? You got to call these people and let them know that whatever they sent me, you shredded. Like, that's not good. You know what I mean? If they sent me a court date or anything, I'm not going to get it. And so with my Discovery, they did the same thing. They sent it FedEx and left it on the front steps. And I ended up finding it weeks later in the yard, probably because some, street person grabbed it and opened it, didn't find anything, and was like, oh, I should probably just throw this back in that yard because this is court stuff and I feel bad. And so I found it weeks later in the yard, and it's like, that's not the proper way. Like, send it through the mail. You can't even put FedEx stuff in the mailbox. I have a mailbox. Like, send it in the mail. Do return receipt requested. That I have to sign for it with an ID. That's the proper way to do it.
Yeah, I'm not arguing with that.
So, no, I appreciate you calling me back very much. And so I guess you guys don't know, like, the substance of the summons or anything? Like,
no, that's not from our end. So
Gotcha.
It would be from whoever. It sounds like it's Homeland Security, so that they would have the answers for you.
all right. I will, I'll start banging down their door.
Okay.
All right.
All right, take care, Frank.
All right. What's your name again?
It's Justin.
Justin. Thank you so much.
All right, you got it. Take
All
care.
right. Have a good one.
All right,
All
bye-bye.
right. Bye.